We're back with a story that is not suitable for kids. Every day in this country, children are bought and sold for sex acts. Under federal law, these trafficked minors are considered victims.
But in many states today, these children are still being arrested and charged with a crime. James Pilcher has a story on tonight's Spotlight on America.
This is Yvonne Hubble's first grade photo. At just 7 years old, she told us her stepfather was already grooming her for a life of commercial sex trafficking. By the age of 11, she was being sold for sex outside Seattle, Washington.
I already knew to obey, even though I knew the acts were wrong. I knew the men were wrong, but the consequences, they were far worse if I did not obey.
Over the next 7 years, she told us her life was a living nightmare. Addicted to drugs, homeless for a time, police arrested Yvonne at least 30 times for prostitution and drug charges, even though she was still a minor.
I did think it was normal because I was a bad kid. I was a runaway, because that's what just kept on happening. And even adults told me that nobody would believe me.
Halfway across the country, Tashayla Brown was living in an abusive household when she ran away from home in Toledo, Ohio at the age of 12.
I was already kind of looking for a way out in a way, some type of soothing, something to make it all better.
She ended up in the brutal control of a pimp. And as a young teen, she was being forced to work the track, slang for walking a street. Like Yvonne, Tashayla was repeatedly arrested, even though she was also a minor.
They don't treat you like a victim, they treat you more like a criminal.
These horrific stories highlight what many believe is a failure in this nation's criminal justice system. Every year, some 10,000 children are forced into commercial sex trafficking, yet advocates say state laws across the country are designed to blame them, not help them.
If you see the child as a prostitute and she's still in the law labeled a prostitute, it's hard to see her as that little girl.
Former Washington State Congresswoman Linda Smith has made fighting child sex trafficking her life's work for the last 2 decades. She told us 19 states currently allow minors to be charged with prostitution, even though, in her view, it's the adults who are committing the crime and fueling this industry. Wisconsin state legislator Jill Billings has been fighting to change laws there for 6 years.
How could it be that this is a situation when you have sex with a child and it's illegal, but once money changes hands, suddenly that child can be charged with prostitution?
Tashayla Brown says her life was saved after she got out of jail and was able to go back to high school. Today she's a nurse's assistant in Florida and the mother of 3 children. Yvonne Hubble got treatment for her drug addiction only after she cleared all of her criminal charges.
Locking me up did not do me any good. Yes, it was a safe place, but it wasn't healthy. It didn't help me.
She now travels the country telling her story, hoping to change laws, stop the arrests, and redefine child trafficking victims as survivors. For Spotlight on America, I'm James Pilcher.
Is there a story you think we should investigate? Call our Eyewitness News tip line at 869-2929.